Thank you. Not quite as tall as David. Thank you so much for all that you have done, for the wonderful and kind introduction, and all that you've done to support this award and our entire state over the last several years. David, you've grown the Broyles Award into a nationally coveted honor, and that speaks volumes to you and to the dedication to Coach Broyles' legacy. We are so honored to welcome you here to Little Rock and to the great state of Arkansas. And I want to say a special thank you to the Broyles family for being here today. Your support for this program is an amazing service to our state, to Razorback fans around Arkansas, to football coaches around the country, and of course, to every family who has been impacted by Alzheimer's disease. Like basically every Arkansan, I grew up living and breathing Razorback football. In fact, at our house, we were taught to love the Razorbacks and Jesus, and not always in that particular order. Coach Broyles was one of those giants we all knew growing up. His name is literally inscribed on buildings around campus, and his bronze statue stands just on the north side of Razorback Stadium. And just like my dad raised me, I'm happy to be raising my kids as Hogs fans as well. In fact, my husband, who's from Kansas City, we made a deal when we were dating. We knew things were getting serious and we had to start having those tough life conversations. Will we have kids? What sports teams will we cheer for? I told him I would let our kids be Chiefs fans if he would promise to let them be Arkansas Razorback fans. And now our sons talk about going and playing at Fayetteville. Unfortunately, I think they may need to put those dreams on hold. Just last month, I played my son George in his school's annual mother-son football game, and I'm happy to say, not to brag, but we beat them for the second year in a row. Unfortunately, he's only in the second grade, so I'm trying to rack up as many wins as possible. As they're getting taller and faster, we're getting older and slower, and the odds are not looking good over the coming years. But in all seriousness, Arkansas football brings families together. It's true in our family, it's true in the Broyles family, and it's true for families not just across the state, but across the country. More than anyone else, Coach Broyles is probably the reason for that love of Arkansas football. He was the coach who led us to our first and only national championship in football. He was the athletic director who made the wise decision to move us to the SEC. He tutored coaches and assistant coaches who today are some of the biggest names to have coached in college and the NFL. Names like Barry Switzer, Joe Gibbs, and Jimmy Johnson, just to name a few. As a graduate of Little Rock Central, it's a personal point of pride that of all the assistant coaches Coach Broyles could have chosen to be featured on the trophy beside him, he chose Wilson Matthews. That's the man who led the Central Tigers to 10 state titles in 11 years and whom Coach Broyles considered to be his most loyal and trusted assistant, a role model of the perfect assistant coach. And I'm not surprised because Central High Tigers are just a bit of overachievers. Even today, after Coach Broyles' passing, he's still helping uplift the younger generation through this award. As I mentioned, it's grown into something that assistant coaches around the country work for and covet. We've got 5 of them with us today who have traveled from all over the country to be part of this event. And while normally it's hard for Razorback fans to cheer for any other team, much less some of those who are represented here today, we could not be more excited or honored for your presence here in our state. And it's no doubt that they've traveled here for good reason. Over the past quarter century, the vast majority of Broyles Award recipients have gone on to be head coaches. Coach Broyles and his leadership and vision paved the way for what Razorback athletics is today, making it not only a state or regional brand, but an image and place that's known around the globe. But his generosity and commitment didn't stop there. As you all know, when Coach Broyles' wife Barbara was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, he stood by her side throughout to help live the last years of her life in dignity. He even published a playbook for Alzheimer's caregivers, one that is enormously helpful and deeply moving. The Broyles Foundation distributes it free of charge in both physical and online copies. When Coach Broyles succumbed to the same disease 6 years ago, our entire state was in mourning. We hadn't just lost a legendary coach, we'd lost one of our state's biggest advocates, promoters, and success stories. We lost someone who embodied everything it means to be an Arkansan. But thanks to the hard work of the men and women here today, Coach Broyles' legacy lives on. I want to thank all of you for your efforts on his behalf and for keeping the flame of this program burning bright. And to the 5 finalists for this year's award, only one of you may walk away with the honor, but you have all shown yourselves to be outstanding assistant coaches in the same mold as Coach Matthews, who your head coaches can always depend on. And by doing that, you're walking in Coach Broyles' footsteps every day. Thank you for being here, and congratulations. Go Hogs.